All right, Northland, hey, welcome back. Thank you for joining us. With her new book, former Wisconsin Representative Angie Sapik is also with me live in studio. Angie, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here.
I'm happy to be here.
Usually when we're speaking with you, it was in terms of political stuff. Today it still is, but you have decided to kind of take your journey in office from 2023 to 2025 and put it onto paper. Let's start with the book. Tell me about it.
So I decided to write this book because I thought once I started the campaign process, there wasn't really any sort of real analysis on how that works. So when you decide you're going to run for office, people that jump into it really don't have a full understanding of exactly how really the machine works. And I thought it was a good opportunity to let people know not just about what happens when you're in public office, but the process of getting there and really how grueling that can be.
Tell me more about the machine in your words.
Well, there's a lot of good and a lot of bad that happens when you talk about the machine of government. It's intended to be slow, which, as your average person, your average mom, it's not something that you really want when you think about it. But once you get in, you really get to understand the process better, and you understand why you have to jump through all these hoops to make sure that the legislation that you're making is really feasible for the American public.
How do you think that the things you write about in your book impacted your decision making on such a public space? You're representing such a large area of Wisconsin and bringing that with you to Madison.
Well, there was a lot of different things that came into play when it came to making the book and being able to tell my story. And a lot of it had to do with my friend Jay. And he lived in Portland, Oregon, and he was murdered by Antifa. So that was really something that really spiraled my drive to say what I'm doing, talking to people online and going to events is not enough. So I decided at that point, if there's an opportunity for me to run for office and to come forward and really make big changes, not just for Wisconsin or for my local community, but really for the country as a whole, then it was time for me to do that.
Another major theme is gerrymandering. If you can tell me more about that and how that ultimately led you to kind of vote yourself out of office, as you say.
I did. So originally I was going to name the book Gerrymandered, but I thought, it really just came across as a lot more cross than I wanted the book to be, because I want the book to be something that's really positive and informational and educational. I do talk a lot about the gerrymandering that happened, and really the gerrymandering that happens back and forth and how that affects people. So in my situation, I did have to vote myself out of office for the good of the party, which is why I named the book what it is. In voting myself out of office and voting for the governor's maps that redrew the district lines, I was able to help save the majority Republican Party in the Assembly. And I think when it comes to my constituents, that was the smartest move. And it did make some changes for the Senate also, which are going to be coming up.
When you reflect back on your time, what else are you proud of in terms of what you were able to help get accomplished?
Oh, we talk a lot about public education. We put an extra $1 billion into public education. $400 million for the Blatnick Bridge reconstruction. Those are really, really monumental things that we accomplished in my short term. Shared revenue increase. We increased shared revenue in the largest amount percentage-wise than Wisconsin's ever seen. So now that money's being filtered through, we're seeing new crosswalks and playgrounds and, just all around betterment of communities.
As for unfinished business?
There's a lot of unfinished business. I do allude to a couple of things in the book as far as what my future plans are. I served on a post-election commission for the last 6 months. I was an electorate for Donald Trump, which was a huge honor for me as a conservative Republican woman, and spent some time writing the book. And now I have another announcement coming tomorrow that I think is the right move and a pretty big deal.
Does this have to do with the 2026 state Senate race?
You may have to show up to the Douglas County Courthouse tomorrow to find out.
Okay. More details then?
More details then.
Angie, thank you. If I want to read For the Good of the Party, where can I go and pick that up?
On Amazon.
Okay.
On Amazon.
Place to be.
Everything is online.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
We'll be right back.